Guys, you know the regular season ended in the NFL, and after 12 seasons at the helm, Tom Coughlin's tenure as Giants head coach is over. His final message, the importance of excellence off the field.
In the NFL, it's important to all 32 owners, to all coaches, whether they be young or old, to realize that we have an obligation to teach these young men the lessons, the principles, and the life skills that they will need once their professional careers are over. And they are short-lived.
Former Giants punter Steve Weatherford is here now to react. Thanks for being with us.
It's good to be here.
Coughlin taking the Giants to 2 Super Bowls, you kicking the Giants to 1 Super Bowl win. What are you going to remember most about him?
Just the life skills that he taught me, the way to treat people, you know, showing up on time, and, you know, there's so many great stories that I remember of Tom Coughlin, but just the way that he treated people that he could gain nothing from, I feel like is the true measure of a man. And I wouldn't be the husband, the father, the leader that I am in the community without my relationship and learning from one of the greatest men I've ever met in my life.
You mentioned you're a father. You actually took your son to the game on Sunday because that was part of your history, wasn't it? There you are.
I'd never played in an NFL game, or I never had been to an NFL game in my entire life until I was blessed enough to be able to play in one, and you know, it was difficult for me to go to a game this year because I was just on the team 4 months ago. So to see Tom Coughlin and my former teammates run out of the tunnel without me being there would have been too strange for me to be able to experience. But I knew that this was going to be Tom's last game. I wanted my son to be there. I wanted my son to see the man that made his father who he is today.
Steve, you know what's so interesting? In a time in which we're always told that it's a business, don't get too attached to these guys, you're cheering for laundry, this seems to be different. This is a bunch of guys who are young men who really look up to a 69-year-old older man, and there's a tremendous relationship there. Can you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a father-son relationship, you know, especially for myself and Tom. And, you know, I remember the day that I was released about 4 months ago, and they started to ask him about the guy that was going to replace me. And, you know, he said one of the things that, you know, I'll remember until the day that I die. He said, you know, today is Steve Weatherford's day. And for him to say that about a punter, I mean, let's be real. I'm low on the totem pole. But the respect that he gave me and that I earned from him, the relationship that I had and he had with so many of his players is the reason he was so successful as a leader and a coach.
It's a remarkable press conference that took place yesterday, and then you see this intimate moment in front of millions of people. Here's Tom Coughlin at the podium with Eli Manning listening to his resignation. Listen.
He's extremely bright. He's extremely competitive. I mean, he thinks he's the reason. He's not the reason that I'm... Eli, it's not you. It's not you. It's us. We win, we lose together. Remember, when we lose, I lose. When we win, you guys win. That's the way it is.
Never see Eli like that.
Those are the two of the men, or the reason that I have a Super Bowl ring, and it's emotional for me to see him speak to Eli, you know, my leader, a guy that, you know, is responsible for so much of my personal success, and I'm so thankful for both of those men and the time that I was able to go to battle with them and learn from them and grow with them. And, you know, I just wish Tom Coughlin the best. He's, you know, finest man I've ever met, and Eli Manning is the greatest quarterback and leader that I had the opportunity to play with.
What a ringing endorsement. Well, I know you're a married man. I met your wife. She's lovely. But I got to tell you, as you were walking down the hallways, all the ladies are going, who is this? One of the fittest guys ever.
Oh, you brought a shirtless shot?
The fittest guy in the NFL. And lucky us, not just that we don't just have you for eye candy, but you're going to teach us how we can try to look like this.
Because you said you were not always his size.
No, you know, I mean, I was just showing you guys pictures of 3 years ago and how my body's changed since then. And, you know, it's constant evolution. But, you know, I think this is the time of year that everybody's forming New Year's resolutions and trying to find different ways to look better, feel better. You know, I have to be a pro athlete to be able to do that. But I think it's about working on your mental and setting New Year's resolution goals that are feasible. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. You don't want to set these over-advantageous goals that you don't achieve, and then you end up feeling worse than you did before you set those goals.
The extraordinary thing about your workout, as we look at your, you know, you're in fantastic shape. You do it in 10 minutes.
I didn't know anybody had that many abs.
You have a 10-minute workout?
Yeah, I'll show you mine later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's baby steps. You know, for me, I was, you know, starting Brian, and Brian's like, you know, are you in there for 2 hours a day? Is it twice a day? What is it? You know, for me, it's 60 minutes a day, but it's consistency over time. It's the compounded interest of the investment that I make in myself daily. You know, it's the same way that, you know, a Wall Street guy would view putting money into a money market account. Over time, that's going to exponentially compound interest over time. And, you know, the pictures that you guys are looking at, that's 18 years.
Listen, keep your shirt on. It's 18 degrees outside right now.
Steve, if we want to get some of the principles and tips, where do we go?
Well, you know, I'm going to put a 10-minute fat-burning, muscle-building, high-intensity circuit. I'll put it on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook later today, and really kind of explain the best ways to be able to achieve what you want to achieve in a limited amount of time.
And I'll tell you what, we will link to that from our website later this afternoon.
That'd be great.
Steve,
thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Let me wear your
Maybe bring us through the playoffs. Tell us what to expect.